Hello my beautiful people, welcome to my channel. In today's video we're going to be learning how to cut a 720-degree peplum. If this is your first time of stopping by or of seeing this channel, my name is Esther and this is Seed Stars. Welcome to Seed Stars. So let's go straight to the tutorial. Let's assume that this is my material and I'm cutting a 720-degree peplum. In cutting your 720-degree, I will use 20 inches as my waist circumference. My pattern paper is very small. I've cut it on my fabric already, so I just said I should use this to illustrate it for us. So I will use 20 as my waist circumference. Then the length of my peplum, I will be using 2.5 inches as my length. But the one that I cut on my fabric, I use 35 as my waist circumference, and then I use 9 inches, 8 inches plus 1 inch allowance, that is 9 inches for the length of my peplum. So you go ahead and use your own measurement as well. But for this illustration, I'm going to be using 20 inches as the waist circumference, then 2.5 inches as the length of my peplum. So when you are cutting a 720-degree, remember that 720-degree is 360 plus 360. That's what gives you 720, meaning you are cutting 360 in two places. So when you are cutting it, you have to divide your waist measurement into two. Your waist 20, this 20 that I have here, like my own that is 35, I divided the 35 by 2 and it gave me 17.5. Now, I will now use that 17.5 to cut one of because you are going to cut two different peplum and join them together to get one. So, the reason why we cut that 720 because we want it to be fuller. We want the waves on your peplum to be fuller. So, the 20 inches that I have here, I will be dividing it by 2. Divide your 20 inches by 2, or your waist circumference divided by 2. Here give me 10 inches. Now this 10 inches that I have here will serve as for one peplum. Then the other 10 inches is for the second peplum. Now this 10 inches, you now use your 360-degree formula to divide it, which is 6.28. This 10 inches divided by 6.28, whatever you get there will serve as your waist circumference. So this 720-degree, if I divide it by this 10 inches, I divide it by 6.28, I will be left with 1.58. 1.587. So I will just approximate it to 1.6. So that your 1.6 plus the length of your peplum. So 1.6 plus the length of my peplums will give me 4.4. I'll be left with 4.1. Let's just say 4 inches. So just calculate your own. Like my waist circumference, I divided it by 2, which is 35. 35 divided by 2 is 17.5. Now I divided that 17.5 by 6.28. 6.28. That 6.28, whatever you get, you use it. You add the length of your peplum. 6.28. Let's say I got let's assume that my 6.28 gave me 2.8. Let's just assume that it's 2.8. Then you now that 2.8 plus the length of my peplum, which is 8 inches plus 1 inch joining allowance, that is 9 inches. So 2.8 plus 1 inch joining allowance is 9 inches plus the 2.8, that is 11, that is 11.8. So the length, the total length you need to fold for your fabric will be 11.8. So this one now, 10 inches divided by 6.28, it gave me 1.587. Then I approximated it to 1.6. Now this 1.6 plus the 2.5 inches, the length of my peplum will now be 4.1. So I'll go ahead, you can go ahead and fold your fabric. Use that measurement to fold your fabric. This one I've already folded it, but let me just open it so that I will use it to illustrate it to us. Now let's assume that you are cutting direct on your fabric and this is the fabric. You mark your 4.1. You mark your 4.1. I'm cutting the two peplum together. So this is 4.1. I will say is for 1. This is where my 4.1 is. This is 4. This is the 4 inches, then the 0.1. This tiny one after the 4. This one, that is the 0.1. So I'll mark it. Remember, we are cutting for 2 peplum. So you mark. You can fold it. You can use 5 inches to fold it so that it will be easier for you when you are cutting your peplum. I'll mark it here. Then this where I mark the first one, I will shift it and mark the second one. I'm cutting 2 peplum at once. Cutting the 2 peplum at once. Then this is where the second one stop on this line. You fold it like this. First fold. This is the first fold. Then the second fold. This one, we know that this fold, the first fold, second fold is just for 1 peplum. Then you fold it again this way. That is, you are having how many pieces here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 fold. This one you get your 2 peplum at once. But if you cannot do it this way, you can go ahead and cut them 1. Now I will now take my tape and first of all mark my waist circumference, which is 1.6. 1.6. I hope we all know where the 1.6 is on the tape. You can go ahead and check on my channel. I have a tutorial on tape reading. So the 1.6, this is my 1 inches. This is my 1.5. Then the next point, the next small line there is 1.6. So I'll go ahead and mark my 1.6. Mark my 1.6 round. That just follow exactly the points and connect them round to have this nice shape. Now the next point, the next thing that you are going to be taking is the length of your peplum. The length of my peplum here is 2.5. And just for the illustration purpose, 2.5, but for my own length is 9 inches. So let's assume it's the 9 inches I'm cutting here. You go ahead and mark the length of your peplum. Mark it following the first mark, which is the waist circumference. You can follow that line to mark your peplum, the length of your peplum. Mark it round. And this is it. Then you go ahead and connect the points as well. Can we see what we're having here? Now I'll go ahead and cut it out. So you open it up, you'll be having two pieces. You slice one side open to join them together, but before you go ahead and slice it, make sure you use it to cut your lining and gum your lining with a gumming stay so that the lining will have weight. I've done that with mine, and then I'll go ahead and join it to show us how it will look like. And after that, it's 720 is fuller than the 360. I'll go ahead and join it. Then I've gone ahead to join it, and this is how it will look like. I've cut mine on the fabric. I've cut the fabric, I've cut the lining, and I've used my gum stay to gum it down, and this is how everything looks like. Now I will go ahead and join them. Well, this brings us to the end of our tutorial. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. God bless you, God bless us, God bless our nations. Wherever you're watching me from, God bless your nations. God bless Nigeria. Let's stay safe and show love to one another. And please don't forget to subscribe